Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Be Remote Podcast. I'm your host, Pushpak, and today we have with us Mr. Almas. Almas is the CEO and founder of Spatial Chat, and he has done his education from Moscow, Russia, and now he is at his country, uh, running this company completely remotely. So, welcome to the show, Almas. How are you?
Hi, Pushpak. Thank you for inviting me to this podcast. I'm very excited to be participating.
Awesome,
Let's
awesome.
discuss remote work.
Thank you so much for joining us. So let's talk about Spatial Chat. So what exactly Spatial Chat is, and what exactly it is.
Spatial Chat is a virtual event platform with high emphasis on networking experience. Uh, so, what our customers use Spatial Chat for exactly? Uh, our customers, and we have thousands of them already so far, they're using our product for virtual networking events at their online conferences. They use it for town hall meetings or brainstorm sessions inside their internal company meetings, as well as a lot of universities and schools worldwide, hundreds of them, is United States in quarter of universities of Japan are using it for online education combined with pastor sessions. So what unites them, what is the common playground, is that we have a better breakout experience than Zoom offers. So they are all choosing us instead of Zoom because of the easiest networking experience as well as reliability on scale.
Right, right. So I was about to offer you like how exactly it's different from Zoom or other platforms, right? So at Zoom we can only like like we can have an event and all. So is there any difference between Zoom and Spatial Chat?
Yes, first of all, we are not competitors. We do different things.
Okay, okay.
Zoom is a one-to-many communication product. I mean, basically, it's a one person speaking while 99 listen. It's a one-to-many
Right, right,
conversation.
right.
While things like spatial chat is a many-to-many conversation, where you can easily switch topic by moving to another group discussion, and groups can combine or separate into clusters. And
Right.
that's the simulation of real life um, gatherings of large amount of people, like coffee breaks, company-wide team meetings, conference after party events, where many to many people.
Yeah. So since when did you started Spatial Chat? So is it started in the pandemic or it was available there before pandemic as well?
Um, First build of the product happened in December 2018, so
Okay.
a little bit more than 2 years ago. But we were too lazy and busy with other business activities.
Okay.
Uh, so it wasn't until March 2012, 20, when we decided to launch it more officially and start to make it a business.
Right,
That's
right.
the funny history. So we are, as a company, we started in April 2020.
Okay, so product was raised in 2018 only, but the actual work started in pandemic, right?
Yes, the story was very funny. So the pandemic struck entire world, and it was March. And
Right.
in March, city restricted everyone from working at the office and told everyone to go home.
Yeah.
So that's what made us to go home. And we were two companies. I mean, we are a group company. Um, 2 days later, when after everyone was bored and missing each other in their homes, one of our colleagues told, "Hey guys, do you remember 1 year ago you created something with the circles moving? Can you redeploy it, please?" And we are like, "Okay." I'm calling my partner. Man, can you redeploy that circle stuff? I forgot. We even forgot the name. So we
Damn.
redeployed. That was Friday. 2 hours later, we invited the entire company to the Spatial Chat event, and it was so fun. We spent 2 hours there, so that we had initial feeling that, wow, now people have the strong motivation to use such a product.
Right,
Why
right.
not giving this demo prototype to other companies we are friends with? So we did it. and several other big companies with hundreds of employees used Spatial Chat as well for their own internal meetings. And average session was like 45 to 70 minutes, which is what was tremendous for a prototype,
Right,
like
right.
a bare bone project.
Yeah.
And after that, we decided to make it more beautiful and launch officially on Product Hunt. So
Mm-hmm.
April 20 of 2020 was the day number one of officially being in business.
Awesome.
So
That's a really
that's the
nice
story.
story. Yeah. So so Spatial Chat is a completely remote company, right? You have employees
We,
around the globe, right? So what made you, pick remote work personally?
um, that decision goes way back to several years ago when life separated us with my partners across the globe. We moved to different countries, different cities.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe some of us worked at the office, including me, but technically we were apart anyway. So
Right.
office was just a shell to go away from home.
Mm-hmm.
In reality, me and my partners were always remote
Okay.
in relation to each other,
Mm-hmm.
but we missed each other a lot. And things like Zoom never substituted the real life presence of each
Of
other.
course. Right.
Yeah. So this is a little bit of story that led to several years of research of disrupting online communication in
Mm-hmm.
order to get back the feeling of each other's presence. So yeah, we started being remote like that. However, when the pandemic hit, we didn't any we didn't have any choice
Right. Everyone has to
neither.
go remote.
So everyone was remote so far by default. Yeah. Then we were thinking, we are remote anyway.
Yeah.
Let's find new team members across the globe. Let's not be limited to particular city or country. So today, we started as 4.
Mm-hmm.
Today we are 16 from 16 people from 5 countries: Israel, France, Japan, Cyprus, and Russia. So our team members are from 5 countries, and we enjoy this. It gives a lot of diversity and not be limited to particular market. You can find the best talent out there. So
Amazing.
that's the quick
Mm-hmm.
history of being remote.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. So, what kind of challenges did you face while working remotely, while building a remote team? Because like hiring a people is a big challenge, right? And you were hiring all these people remotely. Then, what kind of challenges did you face, and how did you overcome them?
So first, is not a challenge, but a must have to. Uh, since we are remote and international, everyone must know English well. So
Right.
we are technically limiting to searching only people with spoken English
Mm-hmm.
wherever they are. But that's not the main issue. The main issue here is to um, officially everyone is working full time on in their balconies in their apartments at home,
Yeah.
but sometimes teams miss each other, um, and we talk to each other only on daily or weekly meetings. I mean the
Right.
official business stuff like work
Mm-hmm.
related.
Yeah.
But there's one thing that all of us, including you, do while in the office. We sometimes go to kitchen and meet each other from different departments while making some coffee, drinking some tea, and so on, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Right.
these are the magical things, or um, however funny it may sound, we meet each other in toilets.
Yeah. Right.
So when you meet each other in toilets or kitchen or office cafeteria, some unofficial freedom of thinking, freedom of thought
Understood.
starts.
Yeah.
And you quickly discuss like, man, we discussed this on weekly meeting, but anyway, what do you really think about this? Maybe we could
Mm-hmm.
arrange some other stuff. So this is where creativity
Right.
starts. So we supplement now are experimenting and it proves well. We are doing like every day, like at 4 or 5 p.m. We have an automatic notifier notifying everyone that everyone feel free to go to our spatial chat
Mm-hmm.
kitchen. I
Mm-hmm.
mean inside spatial chat.
Yeah.
Uh, so you don't have to, but you can.
Right.
And
Right.
people from different departments meet each other there.
Awesome.
That that happens. This is one. This is work related challenge.
Hmm.
Non-work related challenge. Most of us also have children and families at home. It
Right.
requires a new level of discipline. It requires your family to embrace that maybe you're at home, but they must treat you like you are not at home, that you are at work. This is
Yeah.
one problem. Another problem is the children not caring that you work and every time jiggling. But um, what amazing stuff I learned about people this year. From I was talking to customers from United States, Japan, Brazil, Australia, India, um, Germany, Netherlands. Wherever we are actually same people with same problems.
Right.
In all of these countries, there were people with children screaming in the background,
Yeah.
and I like there's not so much difference between us all.
Of course.
Uh, yeah.
That is so true. This is like every Zoom call. If you are well settled or like married, then of course there will be a children. That's a normal thing, right?
That's a normal thing. That's
Yeah.
a normal thing.
So, like, are you planning to go back to the office like after the pandemic was over, or like you'll be remote, right? Like you'll be remote forever.
Most probably we will remain remote forever. There is a possibility to have some headquarter,
Mm-hmm.
but we already have people from 5 countries, from 10 different cities.
Right, right.
No
So,
way I can imagine of telling them to move to one particular country and city.
right, right.
I can't envision that. So we are, yeah, remote by default.
So you guys are basically 16 employees in 5 countries, right? And they are distributed in 5 countries.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Correct. There's one thing. Sometime in future, I hope the pandemic will stop. So we will have to meet each other at least once a year, or better, several times per year. Like
Right.
we call it the summit, annual
Mm-hmm.
company summit. There should be some one place in the world where we can gather and just drink some beer and just to
Yeah,
see each other, because it's our human nature
of course.
um, to see each other. I mean, to feel, to
Yeah,
feel, yeah, like to watch in the eyes, to feel the presence. Maybe that's what evolution has made us.
of course. So yeah, like you guys are from 5 different countries. So once a year you can choose, one country, and that. So in that way you can travel to another country also, and you can meet also. That's an
You
amazing
know,
idea.
it's like a World Football Championship or Olympics that each time they have new country. Oh,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same, the
totally.
same here.
So I was wondering, like, how do you measure the productivity of employees remotely? Like, suppose if you're in a workspace or office, then like it's easy to monitor, or like like people are in the cubicles, and we can see that yeah, he's working, they are working. So at remote, but when you are a remote company, so this kind of tasks are like kind of difficult, right? So how do you do that?
The only measurement is the amount of work done. We don't
Hmm.
care when I'm sorry, one moment.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't care when people start or end their work day.
Hmm.
We just only care them to gather at weekly or daily meetings, but otherwise they feel free to work whenever they need to. Uh, bec- anyway, work happens when it happens. Even pre-pandemic, in office mode, there are a lot of smart books, of which with half of them I agree, telling that work doesn't happen at work. So there's
Hmm.
a motto: work doesn't happen at work, meaning at the office. So yeah, amount of work done is the only measurement. So in engineering, we have understanding number of tasks done. In support, we have understanding of number of support cases done. In sales, we have understanding of how many hundred leads have we processed this week.
Right.
Who do we talk to? What is the percentage of the funnel flow,
Hmm.
and so on. And this works. This is also connected into the with the nature of reality of working from home. At
Hmm.
home, anyway, your family distracts you.
Right.
Then you need to go to cook some food, or yeah, your babies need some changing of their pants, if you know what I
Hmm.
mean.
Yeah.
So distraction happens anyway. or you have to not work for the next 2 hours because you need to make your baby sleep. So sometimes
Mm-hmm.
you postpone some tasks. You separate your day into
Right.
several working ranges.
Yeah. And the productive hours are different for everybody, right? Close, like someone is a morning person who wakes up early in the morning and do the work, and some people they like to work in a like late night. So right, so it depends on person to person. But if you're in the office, then everyone will have to come at the same time and work. But that's the one advantage of remote work. So you can work when you are comfortable with, basically.
Yeah, what else helps us? We are currently at this, let's call it in the beginning, at the fragile state of product market fit development and
Mm-hmm.
initial business model traction. What benefited us that most of the team was in the plus minus 3 hour time zone difference.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have 12-hour difference. Still, there's no 12-hour difference between team members.
Right,
It
right.
also helps to at least have some normal overlap where they can comfortably meet each other anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Only after we grow more, we will be able to afford people from other, from United States. I mean, in terms of time zone
Mm-hmm.
compatibility and availability. Yeah.
Right.
Until then, we have been operating basically from Europe or Eastern Europe. Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
we don't need to see that someone is working. We don't need to see your face and to hear that you're clapping on your keyboard. It's
Right,
not
right.
effective.
Totally.
It wasn't working at the office. It won't work
Yeah, it's
here.
about trust, right? Trusting the employees, that's what matters.
It's about trust and actual productivity. Productivity can be measured by amount of work done. What
Exactly.
else? What else? Even there's something we have observation, but
Mm-hmm.
entire world. So more than 70% of Western, I mean American and European enterprises agreed that they confirmed remote only work this year, or allowing employees to freely choose whether they want to work at office or at home.
Mm-hmm.
So that's called hybrid work. So this year and maybe the next year will be, for some companies, remote only, for some companies, hybrid.
Right,
But most probably it will be office only for small percentage of modern enterprises anyway.
right,
Okay.
right,
And
right.
what is the hybrid work is when only some fraction of your team, less than 50%,
Mm-hmm.
go to office. Go to office. We had experiment in in other friendly company. So there was a decrease in productivity in one summer quarter because entire team was at home,
Okay.
and they guessed that the problem was in the lack of meeting each other in the toilet or cafeteria. That was the real
Oh.
problem. So now part of the team the team leads are sometimes going to the office in order to meet each other in toilet and
Mm-hmm.
in meeting rooms. But
Right.
what hybrid means there is that, like, you, me, and the third guy, we are in the office together in one room, but
Mm-hmm.
we are seeing and talking to our team with Zoom or Spatial Chat in remote. So we are together offline, but everyone else is online. That's called hybrid.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
Uh, it will transfer into that. That's the natural. That's the question. That's the topic of human nature, the psychology.
Mm-hmm.
Still, you need to feel each other.
Do you want to go hybrid in the future? Like, where do you see the future of remote work? Like, what are the things that you are curious about in remote industry? And do you think maybe in future you will go hybrid, or yeah?
So, remote work was uh, is a very high motivation.
Mm.
um, that the pandemic was the high motivation for millions of people to embrace this remote work
Right.
and to see in practice that it works. Otherwise, they didn't have enough motivation to experiment. Now, entire world sees that productivity didn't decrease so much,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it's the same, not worse than pre-pandemic. So what happens? Uh, with the combination of some economic
I
problems
think there,
globally. Yeah,
just a second, like
yeah,
there was
yeah.
some voice going on. Like I don't know, is it because of your earphones or something?
Is it better now?
Yeah, it's better. So we were talking about like which are the things you're curious about remote work and like will you be going hybrid and all?
Yeah. So simple facts. Now a lot of people worldwide uh, practically saw and are seeing today that remote work works. Second, a lot of economic troubles happened within the world in many countries, so that there is a lot workforce now available, and you can now see that you cannot limit you. Now you are able not to limit yourself to a particular city or a country. You can search for the best talent, and actually it's actually very cool. What we have seen is that um, in close regions the salary level is not so is there's no not so much difference between salaries,
Okay.
as well as people are it's very rare to find, for example, WebRTC engineer. It's very hard to find good WebRTC engineer because this is a relatively new field of work. Everyone is an iOS or Android engineer, if you know what I mean. But so WebRTC is something very hard and new. So it's hard to limit yourself by one country. So we expanded number of regions we were looking for such people. Also, we are serving customers globally. So we must have some local presence in Europe, and
Right.
ultimately we need some presence in United States. Today we are solving this issue by working in shifts. So like today, I'm the one working until midnight in order to be able to call to with our American customers. Tomorrow there will be my colleague working until midnight, calling to them, and so on. We are like working in shifts, but ultimately, with the growth, it should be a local presence in order to serve customers in daytime.
Right, right. So, what did you learn from starting a company which you wouldn't have learned from anywhere else, basically?
That's a very good question. That's a
Thanks.
very good question. What we learned and also what we always guessed but didn't have any chance to test and try. We were forced, to do this time with Spatial Chat. For example, um, for example, uh, the most important thing is to test the demand on your product, as well as understand how to earn money. So it needs to you need to test whether you can earn some money, whether there is a demand. So there's a product market fit focus. Because that's the focus, we haven't done and defocused our attention to build our own video infrastructure, for example. We can do it even now, but it will decrease our company focus, as well as maybe it won't be necessary because the product might fail. So thanks to this logic, uh, we understood that it's now business. Now we can think about future a year ahead and think about own research and development in these matters. Also, what we learned next, I have never done B2B enterprise business myself. Me and my partners, we were always B2C, like the consumer business entrepreneurs. I didn't even know words such as invoice or order form that I learned in Spatial Chat, because Apple and Google Play handle this for us with the in-app purchases, right? Um, so we experimented with business sales. I mean, talking to customers, writing emails, making proposals, and so on. And it drove
Right.
60% of our revenue. Thanks to that, we were able to talk to our customers. So B2B business, what excites me, and this is my first SaaS business, software as a service business, is that instead of talking to 10,000 users indirectly through the funnel conversion analysis in analytics software, You talk to hundreds, but directly you learn faster, and
Right.
you get the feedback faster, and you see all of the emotions and feedback whether they need it or not.
How do you do that?
Just schedule a call with our customers.
Right.
They ask questions. We initially we called in Zoom, then we switched to calling with everyone in Spatial Chat, like you and I did the last time when we met.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So SaaS business is a cool thing to run. You just talk to people directly, not talking to them through the funnel or A/B test conversion
Yeah.
analysis. That's the cool thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, the priority is to do as less as possible in order to prove that that's the scalable and repeatable business model. Only if you have guarantee of that, a proven guarantee of that, you can think about the rest. So at the beginning of any startup, think about distribution channels rather than the magic idea,
Yeah.
some vision. Test distribution channels and how to monetize this. Once you get this, and how the economics work.
Yeah, like because if you're starting a product, right? If you're starting a startup or something, then it's really important. Like it should make a money, right? Because you are investing your time, you are investing your energy. The first, point which you mentioned, that of course it should make money. Then only it makes sense, right? Otherwise, you're just like wasting your money, time, and money, maybe resources.
Also, we proved the idea. I don't like this idea, but it's a working idea we should work upon. It's like, it's
Right.
don't be afraid to break things. Break things and move fast.
Yeah.
Spatial Chat first version, launched on Product Hunt, was very expensive to handle. It has a lot of bugs. It was a super basic functionality, but it worked.
Right.
And we started then charging money for updated product with more capacity and capabilities. It broke. We were like, oh my God, I'm sorry. There's some failure. We refunded the money, but at least we knew that people pay for that. And we are honest people. If we see that we failed, or we failed because it's not our fault, because it's other the infrastructure's fault. It happened many times. But we were like, okay, we prove to ourselves that there is a demand of that. People are ready to pay for that, and people who we failed, we are refunding them money and also proving to them that we care, and we will improve next time. That's the cool thing about not being afraid and break things.
Yeah. So, what are you really into outside of work? What do you do? What do you like to do in your free time?
I have family. I have a wife and 2 kids. I have only 3 interests. One is to spend some quality time with them, just walk together, play some games together. Second, I'm a computer gamer myself. I like to play some games one time each bi-weekly at least. And number 3, just watch Netflix and do sports. I do sports several times per week, like boxing.
Which series you're watching on Netflix right now?
Star Trek Next Gen, and Snowpiercer. I recommend it.
Just a second. There's a background noise. Can you hear the background noise?
Yeah, but it doesn't distract me much. It's okay.
Oh yeah. Just a sec. It will be over. I'll start with another.
Okay.
Yeah. So, is there any founder or entrepreneur that you're following
Can you
or studying, basically?
can you
Is there any? Yeah, sure. So, is there any founder or entrepreneur, basically, that you are following or studying?
is there some entrepreneur that I study? I mean,
Yeah,
try to
you
learn,
follow, you study. Yeah,
try to learn from.
yeah.
There are several of them, but there's only one I'm learning from. That's my former investor. When I was a bit younger, one gentleman who is now a billionaire invested in my startup, and I learned much from him. For example, what separates successful entrepreneurs from unsuccessful entrepreneurs? successful entrepreneurs are born with the instinct, how to say it more politely, of not wasting their time, with. But there was a more explicit version. I mean, not to waste your time on bullshit that you don't need to do.
Yeah.
For example, real entrepreneur is bored of doing something for more than half a year that doesn't have any signal of success, either growth or money. If you don't see this, you should stop, kill stuff that you do and do the new stuff.
Right.
That's what I learned. That's one thing. But what the next? What is the next thing I learned? In order to make disruptive company, you should make 3 things. Build best solution to make a small niche very happy. And that niche exists in a already existing several billion-dollar market.
Right.
Number 3, that niche will dominate in this market within the next 5 to 7 years. So we have a proximity chat niche, and we are one of the best solutions for that. Inside
Awesome.
an online event market that's already growing, and the market and the niche is growing as well, and the market is growing, and the niche inside the market is growing. So that's the idea that we are pursuing. Yeah.
Awesome. Amazing insights. Anyone who wants to start like a company like this, like 3 insights which you said are like really important, I guess. What's your favorite book? Any book about life or about the business? Which is your favorite book?
So today my favorite book is Hard Things About Hard Things by Ben Horowitz from Andreessen Horowitz Fund, the A16Z. I'm still reading this. I don't like reading books. I don't read many books. I studied in Russian MIT, where we preferred small books instead of large books. We seek for wisdom, not. So I'm one of people who, I'm kind of person who doesn't read 100 books per each year. I think that's a waste of time.
Same.
But Hard Things About Hard Things is one of those books you should read.
Right.
It's about real challenges for the CEO in real companies, in real tough situation. But what was the another book that changed my mind more than 10 years ago, that helped me to pursue the right thing, not the wrong thing? That was just the Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Have you heard about this?
Yeah.
It explains the concept of assets and liabilities,
Right.
and puts your logic into the right place.
Yeah, this is one of the like classics of finance and entrepreneurship. Like a lot of like I talk to a lot of people, a lot of founders, and they say like I read this Rich Dad Poor Dad in the early days, and it like completely changed my perspective and mindset about life and business.
Exactly, because they don't teach you this at school or university.
Exactly. Yeah.
You need some wisdom.
Awesome. So thank you so much, Almas. It was really great talking to you. Like we got insights not only about remote work, but about entrepreneurship and about starting companies and what to do and what not to do. So it was really great talking to you. Thank you so much.
Pushpak, thank you. The pleasure was really mine. See each other.
Awesome. Bye.